Right. Last time we wasted a lot of our time. Now, hopefully we can get some proper results. No need to waste our time anymore. Hacker's Last Adventure. Try to do quests. Hopefully things will speed up once we reach level 6. Stone skin. Not much of a officer. Herbal loot. Right. We should drink away some of these potions. I have a lot of minor potions. I need to get rid of them. In general, we need to upgrade to light. Right, I think it's minor, light, normal, rater, and then something else. Infinite stamina. Very useful. Level up. I think we're level 5 now. And another officer. Fire enchanted. Fire immunity. Suppose I can do ravens. Level 6 shouldn't be too hard to reach. Chipped topaz. I don't recall what all the gemstones do. Better chance of getting magic items. That's not bad. It's one of those things. Having a better chance of getting magical items would be something that would be nice to have all the time. I don't recall how that works. A charm. Charm is something that provides a bonus just being in your inventory. +1 to dexterity, poison resist 6%.
What you need?
I need you to repair my craft.
The Order welcomes you.
10% enhanced damage, requirements minus 15%. It's actually quite nice. The damage increase is percentage based. It's probably, well, thinking about it, it's probably actually a piece of shit on the low quality weapons, but the more longer you hold on to it, the better it will become. I still think it's probably a bad item, because most of the damage does not come from the weapon damage itself, it comes from the extra crap like 1 to 8 lightning damage. That alone is superior than the entire damage this one does. These items are pretty worthless. They're worth less, mostly, than identify scroll costs. So they're not even worth identifying, really. I'll keep the poison resistance charm for now, for the duel. Once I have a bit more cash, I'll think about buying something. Eagle Orb. Suck at it. Plus 3 frozen armor. Problem with these is it has plus 3 skill, so it could potentially be worth a lot of money. I don't think it is though. The thing is, it's sorceress only. Not just the ability, but the item. So if the entire item is class restricted, it drastically reduces the value of the item. There might be exceptions, but it certainly seems based on the other orb that orbs are not an exception. Still, it's not like it was worthless. Not quite sure what we're supposed to find. Cemetery is one option. That's where we have to go. There's probably some other location. The path that brings us forward. I don't get the Raven. The more I think about it, the more it seems like it's just a bad ability. Maybe if you could see what happens if you invest massively in a skill, you might be able to more easily spot where the ability is basically going. But the Raven and how it looks at this moment, it just seems like a terrible waste of time. Burial ground. Kill Blood Raven.
Dead. How odd.
Yes, she's at the center then. That's fine. I'm still going to cleanse the outer areas first. I'm not sure what to expect from her. So if she's a top opponent, I want the ability to maneuver without sort of encountering additional trouble. Yeah, it's just a small area. Looks like it has a couple of sites here. So maybe not just a small limited area. Scepter. +3 to resist fire, paladin only. The thing is, Scepter, the item is not paladin only, so this is likely much more valuable than the Eagle Lord, even though each has +3 to some skill. Okay, let's see what they have in store for us. Should have gotten the level 6 level up. So our first mini boss.
My army will destroy you.
He's fast. Yeah, this is no good. I'm having a tough time doing damage to her. She draining my life. Certainly resurrecting trouble. Well, oh, we're slowly killing her, so just don't have the abilities to really counter someone like her.
Your time is past, Bloodraven.
Turn to Kashia for reward. Mausoleum. So it looks like there's 2 extra places here.
I can hardly believe that you've defeated Bloodraven. Though she was once my closest friend, I pray that her tortured spirit remains banished forever. You have earned my respect, stranger, and the allegiance of the Rose. I have placed several of my best warriors at your disposal.
Fire arrow, cold arrow, fire, 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 cold, fire, fire. So hire a cold arrow or a fire arrow guy. Got one for free. Level 3 archer. Damage 1 to 4. Yeah, if we find an extra bow, probably should give it to her. Extra helmet, extra armor. Okay, I'm sure she will be very
It
useful.
is clear that we are facing an evil difficult to comprehend, let alone combat. There is only one Haradrim sage, schooled in the most arcane history and lore, who could advise us. His name is Deckard Cain, You must go to Tristram and find him, my friend. I pray that he still lives.
Okay, Eagle Orb. 652 versus 2727, right. So, slight difference. And the Eagle Orb has +1 to mana too, so it has an extra enchantment. This has plus 50% damage to undead, but all blunt weapons have that. Still, some pocket change for us. Resist fire energy, 1200. Shield, +3 to mana. It's a direct upgrade to this, +2 to mana. I'll take it. I should have kept one of the scepters. Scepter is a better weapon than a club, even if we can't take advantage of these extra skills. At the same time, I might as well just buy better equipment. I certainly can afford it now. Go through the underground passage to the Dark Wood, search for the Tree of Inifis, and recover the scroll. Yeah, the woman who gave us the quest said nothing about any of this shit. That's why I'm not too keen on talking to these people. You're going to have to use the quest tracker anyway to find out what was going on. So, what's the point? The reason I'm storing rejuvenation potions is that I think I can make some better rejuvenation potion out of them later. And it's always good to have a few extra potions in storage. At least if your only option is minor potions. We could, well, maybe a bronze spike club of flame. Attack rating, fire damage. It's not that expensive either, and it's clearly superior to this. Also has elemental damage. Armor 27. Strength required. It would be more than double the armor class of our current equipment. You need to be level 6 to use some of these equipment pieces. Enhanced defense, maximum durability. Versus faster heat recovery. Faster heat recovery isn't bad, but armor class is somewhat useful now. We could give this to our companion. Gotta have something.
I'll put that to good use.
I want to buy her a weapon. I want to see. She clearly has some sort of a weapon. I think she has a short bow. It has the same damage. What I'm curious about is, if I buy her a short bow, it's about 100. We can easily afford it. Are her stats going to change or not?
I'll put that to good use.
Went from 2 to 10. 4 to 2, 10. So even the shittiest piece of equipment is an upgrade to what she has as standard. Or rather, it increases her stats, but it's a different thing. She's not us. I don't think the NPC companions follow the same rules as you. Meaning two things. We should mainly stare at these values that they have available, not the other ones. certain benefits will not be affect them, and I don't think they have item durability. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think that's sort of one of the major uses of ethereal items. You see a good ethereal item, but you know, yeah, this is a piece of shit. I can't use this because it'll be broken in like 30 minutes, then it's useless. You can give it to an NPC at that point. Might as well explore the two sides we have here. I don't think this will have any significance as far as the storyline is concerned or our quests are concerned. So, extra loot basically. Extra pass on board. I can do more damage with melee attacks. Javelin. Extra armor for her. Does everything in this place explode? I mean, what the fuck are they storing these barrels?
I'll put that to good use.
And it's better than nothing.
Good use.
A club. So they had an officer here, is that it? Why does this place exist? Treasure chest. Who are you? I'm a specialty guy. Cold enchanted. Worst possible kind of enchanted. Look, pocket change. %7 extra gold for monsters. What a wonderful, wonderful charm. A piece of shit. If you're gonna go after money, you might as well go after the increased chance of getting magical items. I get a few gold pieces here and there from monsters. I can get thousands from a single magical item. It just makes no sense to increase your gold income in that way. Wasted enchantment. Crude scepter of nothingness. Superior leather gloves. How superior are we talking about? 1 defense point. Well, it is superior. Oh, we're very close to getting the all-important level 6 upgrade. Not only will, well, we'll get the molten boulder and a proper summoned creature. The boulder does decent damage. Pretty much double damage on physical and elemental front. Hopefully it has longer range too. Range is the range and inaccuracy is the problem with the Firestorm. And the low damage. So really nothing is working for it. There it is. Well, we have to have the Spirit Wolf, Oak Sage, and Molten Boulder, I guess. Right. Finally we can get rid of you. Right. Pretty much a full party going. A lot of the guys are just buffing. The Mercenary Companion and the Wolf are the ones doing the damage. Poison Vine will also contribute, I guess, but the rest of the vines will not do that. It's a molten boulder that explodes when it hits something. No, it doesn't. It explodes when it hits a wall, I guess. Or an obstruction of some sort. Doesn't explode on creatures. Well, it's supposed to do knockback, so it's not gonna really work if it explodes on the first creature it meets. Superior cap. spell might not be amazingly good, but at least I can see use for it. Yeah, it keeps pushing them back. Right, you can clear your path with this. The damage is okay for a spell of this level, so don't actually have complaints about this. It's just fine.
I can't carry anymore.
Hmm.
Good day.
Good day. Faster block rate. Increased chance of blocking. "15 poison damage over 4 seconds, that's not too bad. Fire resistance. Enhanced damage, but because the core base item is so bad, it's worthless. Right. We still made a couple of thousand out of that, so and there should be a treasure chest somewhere. A single molten boulder killed all of them. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Probably see us through for some time. Well. Charm, scepter, club, sword, glove, throwing knife. And no room. Hmm.
Yes?
Javelins. Compact throwing knife. Increased stack size. Quantity 129. Not terribly good items, but still worth a decent amount of money. Plus 2 strength. It's not bad. People don't care. It's 1 strength. I should not pick up clubs. It seems like no matter the effect, it's somewhat useful. +1 cold damage, that's not too bad, because it might freeze a target. I'll hold on to that. +1 to fire damage. Fast attack speed. Might be better than this. 6 to 11. 5 to 8. Durability is better. Requires strength is a bit better. Or more demanding rather. It would lack +15 attack rating. A little less fire damage, but even then I think this is better. It barely matters. They're so similar. Right, extra couple thousand out of that. We could do some gambling now. We've finished with this place already, haven't we? Right, there's nothing here for us. So, burial grounds done. Passage through underground passage to the dark wood. So we're not gonna find another area transition. We're gonna find some kind of a cave. The cave. Is that really where we need to go? No, I don't think so. It was an underground passage. I mean, I think it's literally underground passage. Our companion got a level up. There's one downside to the molten boulder. Actually, I can think of two. It's fairly slow and it's fairly expensive to cast. I think the bigger problem is that we don't have a good mana recovery rate. So there's no way we can just rely on casting. We need to come up with something. I'm not sure what are our options with increasing mana recovery. We don't have a skill that does it, so it has to be equipment. What equipment does that? It's something you can add to a socket. Okay. Right. A jewel. Eagle orb. +2 frozen armor, +2 firebolt, +5 life. Suck at it. What's this? Stony field. Chip skull. Life stolen per hit, mana stolen per hit on a weapon. Armor hell, regenerate mana, replenish life. Shield, attacker takes damage 4, so we want skull pieces, mana regeneration. The life regeneration is naturally welcome, but that's not the important part. This is something we might want to hold on to, because even though I would love to have faster mana regeneration at the moment, there's really no desperate need for it. We don't have a lot of attack spells to use, we don't have to rely on them. The summons and companion is more than enough. Our own physical attacks are still easily capable of handling the opponents, so I'd like to wait until the next level of equipment comes our way, instead of trying to upgrade some kind of sheet leather armor. It might not matter, because if I take the approach where I stay back, let summoned creatures and spells do the fighting, I don't need a huge armor class. That said, it's not like it's a bad thing to have the armor class. But the sockets would be more valuable than the armor class value. Okay, we're pretty much done with this. Stony Field. No, there's still a little bit at the center we haven't gone through. It doesn't matter if we skip something, but I'd like to have at least a good idea about the map, so if there's any obvious holes there, I'll just go and take a look. And that's it. Right. So Stony Field it is. If I recall correctly, it's another waypoint site. I want to check one thing quickly though. What do we get from extra levels? Minor damage increase, 4 extra points here. What about the summons? Individually it looked... oh, we get a second wolf. Also plus 25% to attack and 10% to defense rating of all our summoned creatures. And we need to be level 18 before we can get direwolves, so yeah, I'm upgrading the spirit wolves. I just can't sit on a single wolf, and I think it's not about can we do it or not, it's more about sitting on the points might make sense. I mean, if you're building for a character that's the best possible character at a very high level, but for now it would mean us having a very very dull time, not being able to spend our points. It just isn't worth it. Lightning enchanted bolts are tough. If you try to hit one with a melee attack, they tend to discharge lightning bolts. No, not lightning bolts, charge bolts. Electricity anyway.
Can't carry anymore.
Leather gloves.
Such stones are common back home.
Hard leather armor. $22.
I'll put that to good use.
We need to find a waypoint. No shit. We need to go back. We might as well find the waypoint though. There was a cave in the previous map area, but it was just a cave. I skipped it initially because I might thought that's exactly what we're looking for, but I don't think it is. The Moldy Tome. The Moldy Tome.
And so it came to pass that the Countess, who once bathed in the rejuvenating blood of 100 virgins, was buried alive, and her castle, in which so many cruel deeds took place, fell rapidly into ruin. Rising over the buried dungeons in that god-forsaken wilderness, a solitary tower, like some monument to evil, is all that remains. The Countess's fortune was believed to be divided among the clergy, although some say that more remains unfound, still buried alongside the rotting skulls that bear mute witness to the inhumanity of the human creature.
Look for the tower in the Black Marsh beyond the Dark Wood. Okay. Might as well take a look. We need to take a look at the cave, also locate the pathway to the next area. And all important level up. Second wolf. We got a third wolf too. I think there's some kind of limit to that. I'm not 100% sure on the precise values. Double attack power. I'm pretty sure we will just have to walk through a lot of these things now. Well, maybe not yet, but once we have maybe one or two more of the wolves. Big problem with the current wolves is that they just don't do damage.
Good day.
We're getting extra attack power, extra defense on them, but no damage. Maximum stamina, 26% extra gold. Well, assassin only weaponry, so yeah. 12 gold, and it has a lightning enchantment on it. I'm not looting this shit anymore. Barbarian only. Faster hit recovery, and it's basically worthless. It's about 3 to 4 times more expensive if it's not a class restricted item. I'm not taking those anymore. Yeah, they're not worth the scrolls I use to identify them. Well, we made a couple thousand profit out of that. So it's not like I'm wasting my time, it's just I don't exactly want to come here every 5 seconds to unload my inventory. If I do have to go there constantly, I'd like to be compensated for it. And I really should do the gambling bit. Maybe not. The problem with gambling is not the gambling part itself, it's that it's fairly limited because we don't have levels. I think the potential items are somewhat attached to what level you are. Because naturally, as a low level character, I can't buy base items of high level. So I'm wondering, is there all that much of a reason for us to gamble? Okay, underground passage level 1. That's where we must go. Okay, the road goes there. I'd like to finish exploring the cave. So next time we can go on to new areas entirely and not have to remember which areas we have or haven't visited in these existing areas. I'm not entirely pleased with our summoned creatures. I'm hoping I'm imagining the problem. They're not particularly aggressive. Problem is, there's no reason why they shouldn't be. I mean, it's not like there are targets that I don't want to kill. Everything I'll encounter is something I want to kill. Two, if it requires me to somehow initiate things, then it's certainly a great thing I plan to focus on spellcasting, because I'm not going to go out there and try to attack. It's some kind of melee attack. Maybe I'm imagining the issue. I'm mostly worried about certain type of bosses. If it's an opponent basically that I have to run away from in order to stay alive at all, are these guys going to be charging in or what? Or do I have to somehow get some attacks in, even if it's just a desperate spell attack to sort of initiate the exchange? Then they'll work normally. It's not like the game is totally unplayable or the character won't work or any kind of problem like that. It's an inconvenience. You can certainly just switch around the abilities and get it done. It's more of a if they would be very aggressive, I wouldn't have to do anything else but just keep summoning new creatures. I think we're just gonna have to basically fight some kind of a boss with them and find out how they work or don't work. Maybe it's a range thing. So if an opponent comes close, they'll attack it a bit more aggressively. But just noticing an enemy somewhere on the edges of the vision range isn't gonna do it. It's hard to say. The game doesn't exactly have a huge resolution. I think this is it's 800 times 640 or whatever the resolution is. 800 times 600. I don't even recall anymore. It's enough to check, I suppose. 800 by 600, right? So not exactly a massive resolution on it. At the same time, you can increase it, but the problem is at that point you're staring at a minor guy and it just doesn't feel the same. The reason I bring that up is I was thinking about the attack ranges. How would they respond if I could see the opponents further away? Would they be easier to control? Maybe the behavior that they're exhibiting would be easier to spot if the range wasn't this short. Damage Scepter of Thorns and Sacrifice. It has to be worth a couple of hundred. Yeah. These guys were clearly coming at me, but maybe it's... I was giving a movement command there, so at least the wolves were faithfully following me to that location. They're not really... yeah. They have to come fairly close before they start to attack. Maybe even start to do damage to us. But point is, they clearly aren't all overly aggressive when there's no interaction between us and the enemy. A ring. Amethyst. Rings and amulets are always magical items. Always. There's no non-magical versions. Amethyst. Attack rating, strength, defense. Don't see that being all that useful. We're not really melee guys, so the attack rating is worthless. Defense is of minor worth, and well, strength could potentially have uses to bypass equipment requirements. Also, if I would know all the recipes, I think you can do quite a bit with jewelry. Problem being, I don't recall, and I'm not sure if I want to start checking too many of them. It's more of a... the recipes can be very obscure, and I do mean very, very obscure. And I don't really have the recipe item either. They're not technically recipes. You have a sort of an item that allows you to add other items to it. It's a box basically, and then you can try to activate it, and it'll inform you if you have a recipe or not. If you don't, nothing happens. The point is, I certainly don't want to start really experimenting. There's very little point. Especially since the recipes can be very obscure. And there's no clues in any way that you could figure things out. Some are more obvious. Add a couple of items of poor quality and you'll get an item of better quality. It's fairly simple. Others, not so much. I think I'll draw my limit at the rune stones. I'm going to check the rune stone combinations, but I'll leave it at that. If I happen to find out some kind of recipe or remember, that's another matter, but I'm not going to check them out. There's quite a lot of them. No, yeah, I think I recall. I mean, there's a lot of them, and there's equipment improving recipes too. They're like, you have to have the items and maybe certain type of gemstones and things like that. Yeah, I don't want to go there. It's more of a, you're gonna play the game through multiple times, even multiplayer included, just going to keep playing your character and leveling up. So you have goals where you can try to maximize your equipment set for that character or that playstyle. There's no need for that for us. Absolutely. I would say likelihood isn't exactly great that we would even get enough stuff on a single normal playthrough. So even if I did check it, I doubt I would miss out on much. Maybe a couple of item upgrades. That could be powerful, sure, but again, with normal difficulty, unnecessary, totally unnecessary. Wonder about gambling. And the enchantment, better chance to drop a magical item. Does it work on gambling?
I can't carry anything.
I'm not sure. Maybe we should use the socketed item. Our current armor isn't that great, and with socketed one we could increase the better chance of getting magical items. These aren't great topazes, probably meet the worst possible. We could still get like 18% better chance of getting magical items. And the thing is, I'm not sure how it works with the multiple levels of magical items. Unique ones, set items, that sort of thing. I think some of them are almost impossible to really get unless you have some kind of a chance increasing equipment set. 18% isn't much. Still something. Boots of self-repair. Better defense. +1 dexterity. I mean, I'm not getting attacked in melee thanks to our summoned creatures and spells, so why not? It's not much, but why not? +5 to maximum stamina. Rugged ring. I'm not even gonna put this on, even though there's no downside to it.
I'll put that to good use.
Yeah, I was thinking about, does it affect gambling? I'm not sure. Either it does or it doesn't. I don't mean to say that in an obvious manner. I mean, I seem to recall at least there being a debate about gambling gear once upon a time. I just don't recall which way the discussion ended going. Does it affect or doesn't it affect? The thing is, the item is created then and there. Is it the same as item drop from somewhere? I would guess it doesn't affect. Not because I can think of a reason why it shouldn't, I mean the logical reason, but I seem to recall there being something somewhere that it doesn't apply. I mean, it should increase chances of every time there's a chance of some kind of item coming out of somewhere, this will affect it. But there's some kind of exception to it, and it's probably gambling. Hmm. So otherwise, you could just basically get money. Otherwise, you could farm an item you really want. You can check your said items, see what individual items they have, what types, and then just keep buying them. I think this resets every time you open it, or rather, yeah, you get new items. Rings are worth 50,000 gold, amulets 63. So I'm not going to ever buy those unless I basically have no amulet or ring and I'm desperate to get something. Mostly we're gonna buy proper equipment pieces. Currently we really have no need for anything. I'm looking these more because I want to see what type of items they have available. It certainly seems like we've seen most of this. Better helm. Even if this is a normal helm, it's still gonna be better than this. Yep. 10% chance to cast level 3 charge bolts when struck. Lightning resist 6%. And this is how it works. This is actually, I feel, a solid way to keep upgrading your stuff. And if you see the base item is already superior to what you're thinking of getting, there's very little reason not to buy it. I mean, it's pretty much a guaranteed magical item of some sort, so...
I'll put that to good use.
Does the magic drop rate affect others? I mean, if my summoned doggies kill something, am I going to get an increased chance of a loot drop? I would imagine so, because otherwise it's just going to screw over certain classes. At the same time, I can't actually say for certain. Hardly matters. I'll wrap up the cave as quickly as I can and end it there. Ooh, gold enchanted archer of some sort. That's gonna hurt. Still, wasn't much of a fight. Every one of our yellow leather armor. Of course. Now that we upgraded our own, actually we get a yellow one immediately. I'm not gonna switch until we get in a real bad situation with the armor class. Well, there's a good chance we got that item in the first place because I upgraded my armor. Or not. 18% isn't exactly great. I mean, if the initial chance was low, adding 18% to it isn't gonna change things all that much. Still, it's a higher chance, so... we had very little to lose anyway. Couple of chips, what were they? Topazes? Lower level. Since this is an extra place, we can expect the treasure chest. That's probably it. So once we get that, I'm not sure if there's any real need to finish this. We're going to finish this, but it wouldn't exactly be a huge loss if we didn't. An amulet.
I am overburdened.
Don't predict. Ooh. Healing potions. Mana potions. Proper potions. Hmm. Looks like we could get a level up too. Yeah, I'm fairly pleased with how this character is coming up. Can't exactly do all that amazing things, but the elemental damage is fine, the summoned creatures are fine, even without any of that will be fine, so I suppose I'm not sure if that's exactly high praise, but nothing's going badly for us, everything's just fine. And there's the level up.
I am overburdened.
Arctic Blast. We can get a third wolf. Attack plus 100%, defense plus 70%. Not seeing the point of upgrading the other abilities. They have no synergy and the upgrade levels are pathetic. So the Spirit Wolf has synergy and the upgrade is... well, the upgrade is... it's shit, but since we're getting an additional wolf out of it, it's actually quite nice.
Good day.
Faster hit recovery, enhanced defense, bonus to life, bonus to mana, attacker takes damage of 3. I guess we're giving this to the sidekick. This isn't like the most amazing thing ever anyway.
Put that to good use.
Just a rare magical item. Plus 1 to dexterity ammo. Well, it's a piece of shit, but it's better than nothing. better defense. There's such just certain type of items that they're worthless. Yeah, these are worth less than the scrolls of identifier. I just need to stop picking them up. It's more about habit than anything else. I need to just start looking at the item. See, do I even want to pick this up or not? We're gonna need more strength, we're gonna need more life, we're gonna need more energy. And sash could be useful. Well, it's not useful, could be somewhat valuable. Throwing knives have been okay, I suppose. They're not useful anyway, but even the normal ones have had some value to them. So I'm sure magical ones will be just fine. Like everything else. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. My worry, I suppose, is that if we encounter serious trouble, the okay is no longer okay. 2, even if it's okay, it might end up leading to sort of a okay character, and okay playthrough, and okay everything. So, sort of, well, we got through everything, but it wasn't exactly great at anything. Which is okay. That's sort of my impression about the Druid when I looked at his abilities. I didn't see anything that wowed me or basically got the impression of that's something I have to try. That looks like amazing. Nothing like that. Summons are worse than the necromancer. Spells are worse than the sorcerer. And I'm not really interested in the shapeshifting. It doesn't look bad at all, shapeshifting. In fact, if I'd have to make a character that goes through all the difficulty levels, I would probably start with the lycanthropy. It has a lot of percentage-based upgrades. Those work very well on the higher difficulty levels. I doubt things like these wolves, or even the dire wolves, or whatever the better ones are called, than the bears, I doubt they'll be good enough. The easiest enemies we'll face here on the harder difficulties can basically kill your guy, and your guy is probably level 30 plus before you even start Nightmare, so they're tough. We're done. No, not quite yet. I doubt the passageway continues too far in this direction, but we might as well take a look. I'm not coming back here again, not the next time. We'll go to the underground passage. Yeah. Level up for her. And that's it. And I am okay with this. Very much so. I'm trying to locate the waypoint. What do I care? Scrolls are cheap.
Yes?
Not worth the scroll. 500 and barely worth the scroll. Still better than the one we have, so no complaints. 3 life, 4 mana. There are better builds. I mean in the sense that you can store more potions. I think at least 3 to 4 rows depending on the quality of the build. Yeah. I think we're gonna leave things here. Not exactly a great situation. At the same time, everything's fine. I hate repeating myself, but that's how everything is. Just perfectly fine. We need to get 4 more level ups before we get even minor upgrades. More than double our current level before we get any kind of significant upgrade. So we'll have to get more spells. That's an armor spell, so it looks like Fissure is our only hope for a more damaging attack spell. The Arctic Blast seemed like it's a different type of a support spell. If our summoned creatures get into trouble, we can try to not necessarily kill through the damage, but slow down and freeze the target so the wolves have a easier time ripping it to pieces. That seems the purpose of the Arctic Blast. At the same time, I'm gonna have to take these anyway, so I'll probably just invest a point in most of these just so I can get access to level 30 abilities. Focus more heavily on the summon side. I don't want to sit on points though, so if I have to pick on something here to develop more, I'll do that. No problem. At the same time, ooh, 4 wolves. A point spent here is not wasted, that's something we need to keep in mind. How many wolves do you get? Well, I suppose we're gonna find out. It is a significant damage increase in percentage-wise. Going from getting an additional wolf. And attacks seem to hit. Defense is significantly increased. So yeah, I think the summon aspect will work just fine. The only problem I have with this is I'm afraid it's going to lead to a gameplay where I'm basically sitting in the rear casting new summon creatures while they either fuck things up or kill everything. Not leaving much for me to do. But we have the respec, so if it goes too far in that direction or I get incredibly bored with that, I can always change. So it's not like we can't do anything with that if we find ourselves in such a situation.